I hate this. Okay, I'm start all over. That's what I'm doing. I feel weird. If I see this specific bitch ever again, it's on site. Count your days, ho. Specifically, I've been watching a lot of anime recently, and Peach Girl was one of the ones I was just like, I want to rewatch it. Was it always as frustrating or drama filled as I remember it to be? It was worse. It was worse. I've talked about A Silent Voice and how irritating it is for me. This bitch is literally the definition of a hater. Someone who just wants to fuck with you solely because they're an insecure bitch who obviously can't get anybody and just hates you for like existing. This girl just hated the main character for existing. If you don't know the story about Peach Girl, I'm not gonna explain it to you. Okay? There's this bitch, this man, and this other bitch. They're all in some weird, I can't even say it's a love anything because nobody likes that one bitch. But they're all in this weird triangle where these two love her and she kind of loves both of them. And also this girl's trying to sabotage her at every cost. Like just horse shit happens. And everyone in this series is as dumb as you would think any old anime would be. Usually old animes, yeah, they're kind of dumb, don't get me wrong, but they're not as dumb as actually like going back and watching them. They're just like, oh, okay, well, there's continuity errors and all this other stuff, but like it's not as stupid. This one was one of those where it was like, this is genuinely as stupid. Like I'm fucking tapping my eyebrow, I'm so irritated. This girl was never shit. She was the worst person throughout the entirety of the series, and everyone kept trusting her. They kept believing her time and time again. She was consistently fucking up everybody's life, and they all would just be like, no, why would she lie to me? First episode, we found out she went to a store with the main character, shat on her sense of style, and then bought the bag she wanted. The one that she shat on at the store. Why would she lie? The girl who knew you liked the main character but still tried to kiss you? Practice bullshit. Why would she lie? This bitch is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The one who dressed up as the main character snuck into a room but tried to fuck you. This bitch in real life set up the main character so she'd be away from her boyfriend dressed up as the main character. This is the picture you're seeing like right in front of your face. She dressed up as the main character to then slip into the room, turn off the light, and then make out with him. All of that literally was because she did not like the main character. Why would she be lying? It must be magic. I would know why she would be a bad person, why we should ever listen to a thing that she says. She stalked the main character. She was stalking her. The entire series was her getting they helped her. They cared about her. And let me explain to you why this all is frustrating. Because don't get me wrong, at one point they got a fucking clue and was like, okay, you know what? She's crazy. She's not good for anybody. Fuck her. I did help her when she was like going through her whole thing because she's easily manipulated. Literally conjured up a baby out of nothing. I genuinely mean that. She was so stressed that she fucking conjured up a ghost baby that she didn't have. And this guy who obviously didn't like her that had the ghost baby, they were trying to jump, or they jumped him rather, and then she tried to pull him like, don't jump him, he loves me, even though this same person sent her to a porn audition without her knowledge and almost got her hard. She's crazy. It's mental illness. It's straight up mental illness. But they got a clue at one point, right? And the ending of the show is another reason why I'm gonna talk about why them like dropping her off meant nothing in the end of the whole series. And I mean, when I say series, I mean books too. Mangas too. We'll get to that in a second. But let me just talk about how even the ending of like the choice that was made doesn't make a lick of sense. While this man, Shoji Todoroki, I don't know. Yes, he very much was easily manipulated by the psychopath. She's a psychopath. So she had it all figured out. It wasn't even just him. It was the entire school was wrapped around her fucking thumb. So I get him. But other than that, he has been completely loyal, trustworthy, and loving to this stupid, cinnamon-haired, tan-skinned, dumb bitch. Completely great his entire time. Hell, he even broke up with her in the most painful way, right? just so she wouldn't get blackmailed. Was respectful of her boundaries in every fucking way, cared about her since she was younger, and never treated her differently. And even after he broke up with her, he brought her back to the same place he broke up with her at, just so she didn't have a bad memory of that place. So they didn't have a bad memory of that place, and it wouldn't be a toxic thing. That nigga did all that, right? Really, he had no real marks against him except for breaking up with her and not believing her when a psychopath was manipulating him. Compared to, let's say, the person who, spoilers, actually got this bitch, okay? You don't understand how I was just like, at the end of the entire series, you deserve what you got. You completely deserve what you got from what I heard. This man didn't like her at first, was in school with her, didn't even give her a passing glance. When he finally did want her, he made fun of her. He was actively a nuisance to her life and was that kind of like really annoying you know what I'm talking about, like annoying, doing stupid shit, irritating shit to her all the time. Actually plotted with the crazy girl just so he can get what he wants, and then try to reverse it, like he didn't still make her life miserable for several, like, you know what I mean, just so he could play the fucking hero. He did that, right? Yeah, y'all really couldn't have told me, at least younger me, that Momo wasn't black. And so because of that, what is this shit, Kyrie? What is this shit? Bro, my second watch around noticing that shit, I was like, so you're disrespectful? Alright, cool. Even though he wanted to be with her and actively sought to be with her, he also had a side ting. It wasn't like a side ting, but he was in love with somebody else who was at their fucking school that he couldn't get over, but still decided to be with this girl, and he was flip-flopping between the both of them, even though that bitch did not like him. It wasn't a mutual liking. This person was the nurse of the school, way older than him, so couldn't even be with them if he wanted to, and shit like him. But he was that stuck on it, right? And the one thing that was supposed to be like, oh, this is why I was with them, is because he went in a hurricane for me. And so all the shit he's done to you, and he did this one thing for you, it's horseshit. Honestly, he's not as bad, but he's really on the same par with what's-her-face. They're weird people doing weird shit. And what? You just like toxic people. They're the one good guy in your life, and you're just like the toxic nigga. The communication in this show is shit. Everything could have been explained by people talking it through and just expressing their feelings and saying what they need to say, but they're teenagers, so am I surprised? No. Now, to be fair, the stupid bitch did try to redeem herself in the end, but like, honestly, if you watch the show, was it really like redeeming herself? Was that really what she did? All the stuff she did to Momo for years, even before we saw. Is that really, to hear it probably wasn't years, but still, like, you confess the bullshit that you did, or let me overhear the bullshit that you did, or talk to people that you put me in situations with. Is that really, should I really care? Did you blackmail me? Did you try to sleep with my boyfriend? Put me in a weird situation with a guy who took me home? Couldn't do anything to me? Didn't try to blackmail him and blackmailed my boyfriend into breaking up with me? You think admitting to you doing a shitty thing is and you saying sorry? And then that also pissed me off that they kept listening to her afterwards too. Like, she would give them advice about stuff, and the advice would always be bad. It wouldn't be good advice. It never was good advice. I listened to the advice. None of the advice was good. But she kept listening to them. I get that she's a stalker, but like, call the police at that point. Anyways, I didn't read the mangas, but I heard summaries of them. I read summaries of them, try to get the best description of the ending of the manga, because the manga went on past this, where they had a whole, like, it's been 10 years later, and her hubby, right, they got together, main character and the hubby got together, and they were gonna get married. It was like a whole thing, right? And they started life together. It's 10 years later, right? Psycho bitch ex-boyfriend who actually was good, they come back, and it's the same drama over and over again. I'm tempted to get the books just to read them, just to shit on them more. Bro, when I was reading what was gonna happen, what was happening, little stories and snidbits, I was just like, bro, what? So basically, we're in high school again, but we're adults. You can move away from this person. You can call the police. You are, like, good enough to know, like, and it's been 10 years. And guess what happens? Again, spoilers, I'm not telling you all that. Guess what fucking happens? They break up. She doesn't get married. She doesn't have the life that she wants. They break up. 10 years of having a great life Went out the fucking window. What? You notice it's when this toxic bitch comes back into the fray that their whole life just gets jumbled up. Maybe it's a common denominator. I don't know. Maybe it is. And that makes sense. But when someone keeps lying to you and then you keep believing them, you're just dumb. They all were dumb because the common denominator was a stalker girl who was around them. And for some reason, they didn't want to get her like in trouble. Like she's done this to other people at different schools. She's crazy. And apparently she got her own other manga, right? Like she got her own separate manga that tells her story. And there was like, I guess, character development for her in that sense. They really should have stopped at that. For her to then, after that manga, go in and do the same bullshit she was doing before or become the common denominator in a bullshit story between all four of them again. I was supposed to be married. I was supposed to have a great life with the person I loved. I've been with for 10 years. It's on site. Why am I not happily married? The problems weren't there, I feel like, until you, or didn't come to a climax until your bitch ass came back into the I'm whooping your ass. Even if it's partly my fault, even if there's something out there that I don't care, I'm whooping her ass. There were a lot of moments in this fucking show that made me want to fucking scream. And I almost want to go back in the show just to show you guys, but honestly, it's better if you just watch it yourself. If you want to be irritated screaming at your television, you haven't had your daily dose of just like frustration and rant energy, I need you to watch it. It's so important that you watch it. But thank you guys for watching, getting that little, oof out of me. I'm feeling a lot better because of it.